Hi, Joe Mazumdar from Exploration Insights. I'm at the PDAC edition of the Metals Investment Forum in Toronto, and with me is the president of Hannan Metals, Lars Dahlenborg. Lars, how's it going? I was in Peru looking at your Valiente projects. I was very impressed by the potential. So tell me what it's like to do grassroots exploration in places no one's ever worked in, not only for the sediment-hosted stuff at San Martin, but where you're working as well in Valiente.
It's difficult to summarize with a few sentences, but it's a challenge. You need to have the right people. The people are the geologists, the social team, and the support of the shareholders to do that work, because it's work that takes time. But when you have that mixed together, you can create good things. And I think now I'm shortcutting it a lot, but I think that's what we're seeing in Valiente, for example. When you advance with a technical idea that works in a new area and generate good geological results, as you saw in the field, and we combine them with a good social group that can actually open up and get the permission and building the trust from the communities that are active in that area. And then having shareholders that enjoy seeing exploration in frontier areas want to see major discoveries. And for me, that's the mix we're looking at, yeah.
I mean, Peru's obviously, there's been a lot of work in Peru. Peru is, battling with the DRC to be the second largest copper producer in the world, but you're in an area that's not really been touched. And so if a discovery is made there, it is a true discovery.
That's correct. That's correct. Moving into a frontier area takes, I think, anywhere, but it's an opportunity, because people who live there, they are generally not biased of what they think of exploration or mining. Obviously, today the world has changed a lot in the last 5 years. The first thing someone will buy is a cell phone, and when you have a cell phone, you have access to the internet, and you can get all good and bad information. So that has changed a bit, but still, in frontier areas, you need to have patience and good communications and transparency to demonstrate that you are a good neighbor, that people can trust you where you work. So going back to your question, I think, can you say the question again?
Well, just like, what's it like? I mean, we're talking about, you almost have the social license to operate along with the exploration. They have to work together for you to get things done.
Exactly, yes. And that's the balance that I'm trying to get at. And I reckon if we'll just go to the Hannan example in Valiente, it's... I think we're finding that right mix there, because we've been there now for 3 years, and we're seeing that these communities, they start to trust us more and more, and we get acceptance to expand the targets that we've seen originally into new areas. So it's very exciting.
And now you're finally evolving, I guess, for some shareholders. You've got a drill permit now, a DIA approved for San Martin, the JOGMEC joint venture in the north, which I didn't see the sediment-hosted copper. So when do you think you'll be drilling there?
Well, that permit, just to say, that's been a lot of work, and we started that during COVID, and it was delayed during COVID, and then it took longer and longer, and then we had a very left-wing government in Peru that also slowed down work. But now we have the permit, and I believe that we will have a rig on site within 3 or 4 months to start testing that target with JOGMEC. And that program is fully funded with JOGMEC as well, so it's nothing that will dilute any shareholders in Hannan today.
And at the same time, you've just recently also submitted the DIA for approval for the Valiente area.
That's exactly right. So. The good thing with Hannan now, we've been active in this zone, in this frontier area for a long time. The work we've done in San Martin with JOGMEC, we have learned a lot how to operate, how to manage certain situations, and we can apply that to Valiente project, and hopefully that path to permit will be shorter, because we now have a more, how do you put it, a better understanding of the different procedures.
Because you're learning from yourself.
Yes, we're learning from ourselves. We're learning by doing, but we've done it once, now we're doing it again. So we actually, I think we're smarter every time we do something. The second time we do it even better. So that drill application called Belen. It's covering 3 targets in the Valiente project. Now, you remember Valiente is big, but 3 targets in the Valiente project. And hopefully, we will see some drilling there next year.
I mean, for our viewers, I was there in one property, going up a creek and seeing bornite mineralization, a mineral called roscolite, which is a vanadium mica, which is associated with a lot of copper gold porphyries in Papua New Guinea, and readily evident, and you just want to drill it right away. But obviously you have to go through all the social license to operate permissions, but I don't think you lack for targets.
No, it's a blessing in a way, because when you have many targets to work with, the social license is hard to get, but it's easy to lose, and it can be external factors that makes you lose a social license. It's not always the company misbehaving. It could be something that you cannot control. So having different targets means that the geological risk is lower as well, because even if we would lose 1 target or 2 targets, we still have another portfolio of targets that we have access to. Now, the area that you went to, we could only see 1 of the targets there, and very exciting. But just next to that target, on the other side of the road, you never saw that, but that's where we now have permission to do more exploration. So it works the other way as well. When you're a good citizen, it opens up new areas locally. So hopefully that's something where our geologists now will do systematic mapping, and we'll hopefully see some very exciting results coming out even just next to your visit or next.
Great. Well, we'll leave it at that. Joe Mazumdar, Exploration Insights at the Metals Investment Forum at PDAC in Toronto with Lars Dahlenborg, president of Hannan Metals, that is grassroots exploration in parts of Peru that are very underexplored and getting drill permits. Thank you very much, Lars.